Hi, this is Dave from Dandy App, maker of Cue My Ride. I wanted to show you just how easily you can pair your Apple Watch to your iPhone so that movement disorder API can be effective on the Apple Watch. With the latest version of Cue My Ride, it's even easier to sync. So here's how you do it. So the first thing, let me make a recommendation that you, after you've paired your watch, I would recommend that you go to the Watch app, go to General, and there's a few things here. The automatic app install, I'd say go ahead and turn that on. That way when you install the app on the iPhone, the compatible app for Cue My Ride will go to your watch. The other things that I think make it easier, if you go down here to a wake screen, I like to say that on-screen wake show last app within 1 hour. That means that when you bring the watch back on, when you turn the display back on, it's going to show Cue My Ride within an hour. You can always press the button on the side and go back. And then the other thing is that I like for a tap to wake for 70 seconds. And I'll show you in just a second why that's important. So I'm going to go now to the App Store, and I've looked up Cue My Ride, and I'll say get. It is free. And once it is installed, I say open. And there it is. So the first thing it's going to ask is if I want my heart rate information. I go ahead and allow that. You can certainly say don't allow, but it just allows your heart rate information to go to Cue My Ride. The first thing you're going to see is a list of playlists. Now, just for kicks, I'd go ahead and start one. And you know, there are a few here. You may be seeing a different list. They are updated along the way. There's this last one called Other Exercise, and I think that's really important because if you do another program, maybe boxing or any other program to help your symptoms, you can use this other exercise option. I'll show you how it works right now. It automatically goes to 45 minutes, but you can just move this around. So you could, for instance, jump it up to 30 minutes or so, or if 45 minutes is not enough, as it gets close to the end, you can bring it back. But I'm going to go ahead and let this be running in the background because I'll show you, of course, since I installed on since I clicked to automatically install, it is on my watch. I start the app there. And you can see this countdown timer, 30 minutes, 53 seconds. It's showing the countdown timer on the watch as well. Now, that's important because that lets you know that the phone and the watch are currently synced. And this is what you're going to do. Now, you only have to do this the first time with Cue My Ride. But you're going to go to Tools and then make sure the orientation is right. Go to Tools, and you're going to click here, Start Movement Disorder Monitoring. Now, if you see, I'll give you an example. When this goes to sleep, go to sleep. If you see on here instead, if you see Activate Apple Watch for movement disorder functions, that means that the phone and the watch are not currently talking. So you can just bring it back up, have the app start. And as long as you can see, as long as the face on the watch is on, then you are able to see Start Movement Disorder Monitoring. So I'm just going to tap Start. And then I'm going to get messages from the watch. I'm also going to get a message on the watch asking whether or not I want to release the information. I'll say OK. And then monitoring is active. So now it sometimes takes, it can take up to 2 hours. It rarely takes that long, but it can take up to 2 hours for the information to be transmitted from your watch, from the actual movements of the watch, and then end up on the phone. But once you've done that little part that is giving authorization for the watch to start monitoring your movements, then that's going to take place up to 7 days. And by the way, anytime you have anytime Tools, you can go to But so now you see this says Start Movement Disorder Monitoring, and you saw that I clicked that less than a minute ago. It can sometimes take 4 or 5 minutes for that to happen. So don't worry about it. You can go ahead and continue using your rides. You can do your exercise, and then in due time, when you click Tools, instead of saying Start Movement Disorder Monitoring, it will say Movement Active, and it will give you options, which includes the ability to send your data, to restart the monitoring, or to send a chart, share a chart. So I hope that gives you an idea. I'm going to go away for a few seconds and come back once the movement has started, once the movement disorder monitoring has started, and show you how it works. Okay, so now I'm back, and it has, now if I go to Tools, now I see Monitoring Active, tap for options. And if I tap that, I see that I have the options to either extend monitor for 7 days, I can share the graph of the last 5 rides, or I can share a CSV file of all current data. And my hope is that you'll be able to use that data to understand really how to make your symptoms better. Now, again, as I said, there's several rides, and those will change and update along the way. But then this other exercise is important because, again, if you want to do a different program other than cycling, or if this really is a tool for you. So if you want to see perhaps how certain medicines work, you could use this. So you could you would be, before you take the medicine, you would just start it'd be considered other exercise. Then you take the medicine, and then you just move this all the way up to the end. And as soon as this reaches this little blue part, that's what makes the app think that you finished the thing that you're wanting to monitor. And then you could simply say, share the graph of the last 5 rides. I just like to save it to files because that way it is always there. I just save it to my iCloud drive. You can say keep both and it will rename it. And then on your iCloud drive, you'll have the files and the graphs of many either rides or other exercises or whatever you're monitoring along the way. So I hope this makes it more clear, and I hope you will use Cue My Ride to help you understand which exercises or any kind of activities can make your symptoms better. All right, bye-bye.